welcome. Katie here. Thanks so much for joining me on the Imagine Crafts YouTube channel. Today I've got another really simple design. I'm going to show you how to make a background, something similar, because I'm going to be honest with you, very rarely do I ever create the identical thing twice, unless it's something that's super duper easy. But when it comes to ink splattering and that kind of thing, it usually doesn't turn out exactly the same. But I'm going to show you what I did, and we'll see how close we can get it. Excuse me. So that background that you saw, the embossed, is from Tim Holtz, and I think it's just the Distressed Brick embossing folder, but I'll have it for you down below. I'm trying to look and see if I've got the packaging somewhere around here, but I don't see it. But that's what we're going to use here. Now, I'm not sure when this video is going to go in comparison to the one I just filmed. There's going to be two, this one and another one that come out for the month of February. So depending on which order that you see this, you're going to see one, and then you're going to see the next one that's going to look very similar, but they are very different. And the one that I did in the last video, I'll show you, is, I think, just a simple mixed media card. But this, I used the walnut inks to create, to color my palm fronds. So you can check that video out for how I did that. But then I just did some simple background stamping and added some texture, with the twine. And then, of course, when you're mixing media, all you're doing is adding different elements of things that you have: die cut, stencils, stamps, inks, sprays, that kind of stuff. So, and of course, if you want to use twine or fabric, all those things are elements to creating a mixed media design. So you're probably doing that already in your card making, but you don't even realize it. So there you go. So there's going to be one, you're going to see this one, and then potentially you may have seen this video first, or you've seen this one, but they're different. And when I talked in this last video that I did for this other card I just showed you, this is another way that you can add texture by using embossing folders or texture paste with your stencils. And of course, you can emboss your stencils. So there's a lot of different ways that you can incorporate additional texture to create a mixed media design on your card making. So same palm frond. This one's from the Greetery. I really love the company. And the last one that you saw on that other card, I used these smaller ones, but I'm just going to use the large one today and keep that simple. And I've got watercolor paper. This is cut to 3.5 by 5. So I'm going to put this stuff to the side, and I'm going to use some VersaFine Clair inks for this one. So the last one I told you that I did the walnut inks. So this time I'm going to use, got a bug flying around, some VersaFine Clair inks, and I've got Golden Meadow, Arctic, Shady Lane, and Spruce. And this is I'm going to show you how I colored the palm frond. So I just die cut this out of, it's probably 110 pound, 120 pound. It's a nice, thick cardstock to keep it sturdy because it's the only one that I'm going to use. But I'm going to show you how I colored it with the copper, Celestial Copper Delicata ink. And I'll bring that up and show you the glisteningness of it. Okay, so let's set some of these off to the side. Also, I used the Celestial Copper and added added some foam strips to There's Beauty in New Beginnings, and I got that from, this is a Better Press plate, so that sentiment down there. And I used my stamp positioner to stamp that. So you don't need, in the copper ink, you don't need to have the Better Press system to be able to use those plates. Okay, so we've got some work to do here. And it's probably going to seem a little strange what I'm going to do. But I'm going to put some ink down. And we don't need a ton of this. It's, it's a little tiny piece of paper. But I am going to 91% isopropyl alcohol. Now, for those of you that are wondering, what's the difference? Water. That's it. If you got 70%, use that. The only difference is that 91% has less water in it than 70%. And I'm going to let these kind of spread out, and then I'm going to dry it with my hair dryer, which probably seems a little unnecessary, but reactivating this is the key to what I did, because I had been screwing around with coloring some palm fronds, as you see here, and using a brush to add it to the palm fronds. And this dried on my glass mat. Now, if you don't have a glass mat, just use a piece of acetate, glass plate, anything. You can go to the dollar store and get one, get a glass plate, just for adding inks to, so that you have something non-porous. Just checking, make sure all that alcohol is dried up. Now I'm going to spritz on it. I want that to get over there. And I'm going to take our cardstock, and this is the smooth side, and I'm just going to dab it in. I'll wet this. Good thing about alcohol is it dries quick. And then I think I mix, trying to find my fan brush, some of the spruce and the Arctic, and I got a different color there. And I am going to saturate this one now, this panel now, because I want that to kind of be a little watery and dry back some. As you can see, it's not exactly the same. Put a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to dry this. And as I'm doing this, you can see that that's drying too. So we're going to spritz that again to wet it and reactivate that ink. All right. What's great is we get to see these droplets that we get here. The stuff in the middle. Acetate works great for this because it's easier to get the droplets. Shady Lane in there. Blues and greens you can always mix. So even when you're doing this type of stuff with your VersaFine Clairs, you can get a different color in there. I think I'm going to leave it because we can get crazy with it. And then I do want to keep some of the white in there. But, and I think it was the last video I said this because of the palm fronds. If you get a little nutty and you cover too much with color, that's where your white splatters and stuff can come into play really nicely, because it can add some of those spots back in that you may have lost if you've over inked. So sometimes I do the splatter, sometimes I don't, sometimes I use it for interest, sometimes I don't. It all depends. All right, now this is still a little damp, so it's the perfect time to run it through the embossing folder. I don't normally, to be honest with you, but when it's wet, it's wet. And the back side, okay, so, oh, that's not too bad. See, once you get it a little darker, it's a little darker. So that's the one I did earlier. So that's not too bad. It's a little bit more ink, but that's not terrible. And then the back side, that's not bad at all. Pretty close considering, huh? Okay, so my next elements, I'll just use that for another card. This I just had in my stash. I don't know which arch it is, but whatever's going to line up with your 3.5 by 5, it will be the Spellbinders arch die set, layering arch set. So that's what that is. Now, this is just Neenah's, I think it's the natural 100 pound, the classic Crest, but it's the natural. And I thought that went really well with the Ivory. And then, of course, I've got that New Beginnings there. Now, let me find my palm frond that I tossed. And what's great about Delicata inks, I love inks because I can have plain paper and I can color them whatever I want. So I don't have to have all the colors of cardstock, especially metallics. Now, of course, those always come in handy, but using the Delicata inks, I'm trying to find as I'm talking to you my bone folder, there it is, gives you a little different shimmer than a metallic cardstock does. So I've got the die cut and I'm going to use my bone folder. Now this, you could use your finger to press this in, but you know, it's just about trying to keep some ink off my fingers because I will inevitably get it everywhere if I don't. And you can see that's all I'm doing, just pressing it in. And then, of course, if you've got the Teflon bone folders, it's going to wipe right off that ink. And I'll show you that here when we're done. And I just thought the copper went really pretty with this color combination. And actually, I'm kind of liking the darker, seeing that framed here out of the corner of my eye. I'll let you guys see that. Compared to this. Makes it stand out. I mean, they're both nice, but that's why I test things out. It gives me two for cards. Without a lot of effort. And I do love that there are, because the Delicata inks are one of my favorites besides the VersaFine Clairs, which they're coming out with new ones since we're playing with them today. I'm really excited to get those. I don't think I'll get mine until probably springtime, but that's okay. Good things are worth the wait. Try and get in that, squish it in there and get those edges. And that's okay, that'll do. I'll get that tail end again real quick. My fingers are taking it off. It's the downside to pigment ink. It does need to dry, but this is quick and we'll just use our hair dryer on it. Once I get it stabilized, I'll pick up the heat. I think that looks pretty nice. And didn't do too bad of a job matching up my initial test. And I love, love, love the copper. Make sure that's adhering down on there. It's a great way. You can do this with gold too. I just thought we'd showcase the copper Delicata ink today. And actually for the month of February, because I did it in both my cards. And so you get a side-by-side in case you don't catch one of these videos. Because this video, I didn't show this. I just talked about doing it. And so you're using the same die in a different way. And that's going to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next video.